Lost in the endless wood, I encountered him, my grandfather, a man who should reside only in my memories. But this isn't a dream, his presence is a prelude to a battle between life and death. I thought I had lost everything, until fate granted me a new beginning. Welcome to my channel. Today I'll take you through a story filled with mystery, enthusiasm, love, betrayal, and miracles. Chapter 18, Lily. Stumbling through the dense forest, I followed the ethereal light that seems to stretch endlessly before me. I've been wandering for what feels like an eternity, my determination pushing me forward despite my exhaustion. As I duck under a low, hanging branch, my inherent clumsiness gets the better of me. I trip over an exposed root, landing face first in the soft forest floor. Need some help there? A familiar voice calls out, tinged with amusement. I lift my head, leaves and twigs clinging to my hair, to see Gramps standing before me. He looks exactly as I remember him, his eyes twinkling with mirth, a kind smile on his face, and his hand outstretched to help me up. I grasp it, his touch surprisingly cold, and scramble to my feet. Gramps. Disbelief coloring my voice. Hi there, Lily A-line. How have you been, my love? His weathered hand caresses my cheek, a gesture so familiar it makes my heart ache. Well, I'm seeing you right now. Gramps, how good could that possibly be? My brave facade cracking slightly, his expression saddens, and he turns away from me. Lily A-line, you're not dead. At least not yet. He whispers the last part. Confusion washes over me. What are you saying? Gramps. He takes my hand, gently leading me away from the direction I've been heading. Hey, I've been trying to get to the light, and you're taking me backwards. I protest, but he simply shakes his head. After a comical journey through the woods, during which I managed to hit my head on 3 separate branches and nearly break my nose on a tree trunk, we finally come to a stop. God, you're clumsy, Gramps mutters under his breath, his sense of humor intact even in this strange place. Look, pointing to something in the distance. To my agent extraordinaire, Myelin Nilban, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. I see nothing. Gramps, there's nothing, Lee A-line. You have to actually try. Stop thinking you're dead. Get it out of your head. That's the only way you're going back. He grasps my head, turning it to face forward. Suddenly, I gasp as the scene before me comes into focus. Running through a sun-dappled field are Ethan and 2 other children, a girl and a boy. They're laughing, tossing flower petals into the air with carefree abandon. As I watch, a familiar figure approaches them. Dylan scoops all 3 children into his arms, the giggles echoing across the meadow. They look older, happier. My heart swells with love and longing. You're missing all this. Lily, you're going to miss this moment. Lily, you need to go back. Gramps urges. But how? Gramps. He shakes his head as the beautiful scene fades away. You remember when you were a little girl and you thought you were so brave. So you ran out the house but naked, announcing that you will destroy all rogues. I nod, laughing at the memory. Well, that day, many of the pack warriors came to me. They told me this granddaughter in the world, and that they knew that one day you would achieve something great. Lily A-line, you just didn't do something great, you did something amazing. You saved your mate, saved a little girl, and managed to get them both to safety. Nobody I know could have done that, but you did. If anybody knows how to leave this place. Tears well up in my eyes as I look at Gramps, his proud smile warming my heart. I throw my arms around his neck, holding him tightly, savoring this moment with the grandfather I've missed so dearly. I miss you so much. Gramps, I whisper through the tears. I missed you too, Lily, but I have to go. I nod and kiss his cheek before pulling away. You can do this, Lily A-line. You wouldn't be my granddaughter if you couldn't. And with that HES gone, I wipe away the straight ears from my eyes. I take a deep breath, trying to free my mind to think of a way to get back. Care for assistance. Somebody asks from behind me. I jump back, landing on my butt. I look up at the man who I thought I escaped from. But Silas isn't alone. A beautiful woman is hanging to his arm who I recognize as Aaliyah. Get her away from me. I scoot back, my back hitting a tree. Silas's face forms into a frown. You don't have to be scared of him, Lily. It's not ill anymore. Aaliyah rub her hands up and down Silas' arms. Ill, yes. Lily a line. I was very sick. I wasn't in the right state of mind when I did those horrible things to you. You did them twice. Silas. I don't believe you were sick. I shout back, a wave of anger coming over me. You should. Lily a line. Silas was very sick when he came here. I was able to cure him and forgive him for all his doings. A lady says from beside me in the most angelic voice I ever heard. I look at her face to see it practically glowing. Her body is also doing the same thing, almost like an apparition. Aurora whispers in my head, making an appearance for the first time since the kidnapping. Who the moon goddess? I gasp. You're either T, but yes. My child. I am. My name is Evelina. Stand up. We have some things to talk about. I obey, taking her hand and letting her help me up. I remain my distance from Silas, keeping close to the moon goddess herself. Why are you here, Lily? Catching me off guard, I stop in my tracks, causing Silas to bump into me. I growl, not liking his touch on my skin. He backs up his hand in the air, showing surrender. I don't know. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Noble, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Do you? Looking up at her, she smiles at me, nodding her head and continues walking. Wait, you're not going to tell me? Running to catch up to her. Why are her legs so long? No, my child. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to show you. I look at her, confusion written all over my face. She laughs silently and points her hand to the left. Looking in that direction, I stare at a bunch of trees. I want to ask her what I'm looking at, and then it finally appears. My body is lifted out of a trunk and carried inside a building. The scene changes to when Silas first visited me. I watch in horror as the memories of just a few hours ago happens all over again. It doesn't last long as the scene changes again to what happened in the torture chamber. Guards fall down as me and Dylan escapes, but not before I was stabbed. You see, my beautiful child, the one thing on this earth that kills my children was injected inside of you. You should have went down way before you did, but you didn't, T. She ends with a smile on her face. I look at her, dumbfounded, not knowing what any of this has to do with anything. That means that you're not supposed to be here. My love, you need to return to your family and friends back on Earth. But how am I supposed to do that? I don't have red slippers to click me back home. She laughs, along with Aaliyah and Silas. You need to let go. Think of the people who are missing you right now. And whatever happens, do not think of this place. It will only bring you back here. I nod, not exactly knowing what she's talking about. We have to go now. Lily, I know. You can do it. I believe in you. She pats my cheek and kisses my forehead before she walks away from me. And Lily, you and Dylan are meant for each other. Don't fight that. With that, they all disappear, laying down on the ground. I close my eyes and relax my body to the best of my ability. I let all the memories of the past few days slip from my mind and focus onwards back home. My family, friends, my pack, and all the things I wanted to do with my life, with Ethan and Dylan being my main focus. The same way they both scrunch their noses, how they can't sleep without taking a shower first, and how the words I love you are always in their everyday vocabulary. An intense pain hits my legs, causing me to flinch in pain. It grows worse by the moment, causing me a headache. The pain spreads up my body, leading up to my neck. The peaceful aura of the afterlife seems like the best place right now. But I keep the moon goddess advice and keep my mind away from there. Ethan's face comes to view, along with everybody else's. They are all sitting there with tears running down their faces as the doctor speaks to them. I see anger in Lucas's eyes as he gets up and leaves. My mom bursts out in tears, clutching to my dad for support. Why are they crying so much? They think you're dead, Aurora says, appearing beside me in wolf form. But I'm not dead. Why would they think that? She nods towards the hospital bed. My body lays there, battered and bruised, lifeless. The heart rate monitor beside me beeps, showing a flat line across the screen. But she said I was dead. I exclaimed to Aurora, tears thick in my voice. You're not, Lily, but you will be if you don't go back now. She sends me a wink and runs off in the distance. I focus my mind back on my body. I let go to finally reach myself again. Dylan. We sit there, all staring at the ground blankly as we wait for the doctor to let us seal his body. My chest feels heavy, and I can't feel Nikolai anymore. The tears don't fall, but my eyes burn as if they do. I'm clinging to Ethan, needing his comfort as much as he needs mine. It's just us two left. Everybody else left to grieve by themselves. I have to inform the pack of the loss of their Luna sometime soon. Just the thought of it makes my stomach clench tightly and my eyes water. I feel anger. Not towards Lily or even Silas, but towards myself. How could I not know about Jason or Amber? How could I let my mate get kidnapped and raped in front of me? I don't even deserve to live after the crap I didn't let happen. But ending my life won't make things better. I would be leaving my pack, my family, and my son. It would end up hurting them more than anything. But I would be with Lily again. I'm brought out of my mind by the doctor's voice. You can see her now. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilban. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. I nod and take Ethan in my arms. We reach the room, my footsteps faltering as reality hits me hard. The doctor pats me on the shoulder, opening the door and giving me a little shove in. Her body lays there, cold and lifeless. The heart monitor still beeps a flat line, tubes and wires everywhere, but none of them is doing their job. I move closer to her where I can touch her. She feels as she looks. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilban. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Her usually flustered cheeks are of a pale shade. Her black hair drains out her face. Daddy, I want Mommy. Ethan cries into my neck. I don't respond, not knowing what to say. Ethan is old enough to know what's happening, but not old enough to know how to comprehend everything that's going on. I sit down on the side of the bed, careful of her fragile body. I open my mouth to say something, but the words don't come out. All the tears I held in pour out of my eyes at once. The regret of not wanting her, the guilt of letting her get kidnapped, and the fact that I was completely useless to her. My tears stream down my face. My hands shake and I struggle to breathe properly. Waiting for nothing. No one's coming. She's not coming back. But we still wait. Doubt. What we feel even though we don't move a muscle. Hope. What we have, wired into our brains, is hanging on the thinnest thread. Seconds. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilban. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. An hour passes, and we don't move. Our eyes never leave her face. Movement. It must be the body's after-death reaction. A bleep on the monitor. The heart monitor rises. Her non-existent heartbeats are becoming gradually steady. The doctors rush in, staring at us in amazement. But what are they looking at? Nothing has changed. Her face is still the same. The beautiful blue eyes are still hiding behind her eyelids. The usual curve of her smile is flattened by death. A tap on my shoulder tears my eyes away from the corpse. Ethan looks at me wide-eyed, mouthing something I don't understand. Huddled. Chest rising. The sound of her hitting the lungs. She's awake. Or am I dead? My body's moved away, feeling as if I weigh nothing. I watch. In a corner, the doctors crowd the bed, shielding me away from my mate. But Chess gone. They told me she's gone. Is she gone? Not even knowing that the words have left my mouth. But the respond never comes. Just a bunch of shouts, beeps, noises that make my ears ring. The room slows down. I feel my body awaken as if for the first time being in human form. The blood rushes throughout my body as the air returns to my lungs. The scene in front of me speeds up until I'm back to normal. The room falls silent. I stare into the eyes that seem to hold the ocean in them, holding all the horrors, nightmares, but still have happiness in them. Joy, life, love. The eyes of Liddy Aileen Thompson. The door clicks, and I realize it's just me, my son, and Liddy in the room. We stare at each other, lost for words, or maybe just lost in each other's eyes. One way or another, I don't think I've ever seen such a beautiful woman. Black hair, blue eyes, pink cheeks, and red lips. She looks as if the moon goddess blessed her with a lasting beauty. She's glowing, inner life shining through her skin that is no longer lifeless and pale. We don't lose eye contact until her eyes move downwards. The little boy holds his mother tightly as if she would wither away in the wind. The door opens again and our family stare at her in shock. Words of love are exchanged while tears and hugs are brought together. But I stand there looking at the only person I've ever been in love with. How can I be in love? Why am I so certain that I'm in love? Because I can't imagine my life without her. And the fact that when I had to, I get numb, forgetting how to talk. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilban, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. See and breathe. That's how I know. And she needs to know too. Biddy well leave you two alone. We'll be outside if you need us. Leonard says, shooing everybody, including Ethan, out of the room, leaving us alone. Dylan, I am in love with you. Not just the simple I love you. It's the one where I could sit here and tell you how beautiful you are. Tell you how much I adore you and how you're in my world. But that would take days, months. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilban, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. 'Cause we have no end. Lily Lane. Tears are in our eyes when I finish. I see it in her eyes like the first night we laid eyes on each other. I couldn't tell who leaned in first, but I could tell that the moment our lips met, it's if time stopped. The soft touch of her lips, the way our heads fit together, we were meant for each other. And for once, I'm not the only one who thinks it. Chapter 19. Liddy, I pulled away from Dylan first. Fresh tears well in my eyes. His lips land back on my face, kissing away my tears. I almost want to giggle at the gesture. I actually enjoy it. I love you too, Dylan, I whisper in his ear, trying my best not to let more tears fall. From the moment I woke up, I couldn't keep my eyes off of him. It's like the first time we meet and I fall in love all over again. No rejection, no kidnapping, and definitely no death. Warm arms wrap around me. My arms feel weak and sore, so I keep them at my side, sticking with nuzzling my face into Dylan's neck. His scent hits me in full force, and for some strange reason, my arousal seems to increase. I know Dylan smells it, by the way his body slightly tenses. I pull back and look deeply into his eyes. I see what I always see, love. And for once, I can finally return it with maybe a little lust thrown in there. I move my eyes down his body, slowly taking everything in. His wrinkled white shirt tightly clings to him, showcasing all his ABS. His basketball shorts have suddenly become a lot tighter, followed by his tan-toned legs. I lick my lips, my mouth becoming suddenly dry. A low growl is heard, making me snap my head up. Dylan's eyes have changed into a dark green color, his eyes now holding more lust than love in them. Before I know it's happening, his lips are on mine. He muscles his way in, forcing his way into my mouth and making me moan into the kiss. I'm gently laid back down on the bed, our lips leaving each other's, only for his to be on my neck. I can feel myself getting turned on more by the minute, and I know if I don't stop him now, he won't stop. Dylan. We should stop. I end up half, moaning as he grinds himself into me, never leaving my neck. My weak attempt to stop him fails. But when we hear the door opening, he finally lets up. Sorry if I was disturbing something. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilban. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. But I have lit his chart. My cheeks flush as I push Dylan away from me. He nods, sending me a grin as he takes the seat next to me. I pull my hospital gown back up, hiding the hickeys I know of. Well, Luna, to my utter surprise, you're perfectly healthy. All your blood work came back, and you seem to be as healthy as ever. You're going to be very sore for a while, and you need to take it easy for now. We stare at him wide-eyed, the news shocking us. How is that possible, Doc? She was dead an hour ago. Dylan asks, making me flinch back. He sends me a worried look, but I ignore it and take his comforting hand, squeezing tightly to it. I don't know how to answer that. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilban, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. In all my years of being a doctor, I've never seen such a thing. You truly are a miracle. He smiles at me as he sets my chart down. So when can I go back home? We want you to visit us every day, just to make sure that nothing happens to you. But you should be able to sleep on your own bed by tonight. I nod, letting him take all the wires and tubes out of me. What about Seth? Dylan asks, making me choke on air. The doctor laughs, patting me on the back. My whole face turns a shade of red as I stare at Dylan wide-eyed. He winks at me, addressing the doctor again. Well, as soon as she's released, she should be good. But I would take things slow. She still might have slight tearing down there, and you don't want to injure her. Dylan nods slowly and sends me a devilish grin. After all the IVS and such taken away from me, and him given my prescribed medicine, I'm left to rest. Oh, how I wish I was doing that. So what was it like being dead? Did you see dead people? Were there demons? Ghosts? Wait, did you meet the moon goddess? Ethan asks, looking at me with crazy eyes and only being centimeters away from my face. Give your mom a break. She's probably worn out. Ethan pouts but nods at my dad's words. I feel Ethan snuggle close to me. I wrap my arms around him and drift off to sleep. 2 hours later, I hear talking close to me. I keep my eyes closed, enjoying the state I'm in. Daddy, can Mommy come home today? Ethan Nest's little voice ask. Yeah, buddy. You think you'll be able to convince her to have a sleepover with me? Dylan asks in a teasing tone. I don't know. Daddy. Maybe. But Mommy moves a lot in her sleep. So just be careful. I let her leave my mouth, making them both look at me. I don't even move that much. I say hoarsely, sleep still clear in my voice. Whatever you say. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilban, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. He shrugs his shoulders, hopping off the bed to play with the skeleton in the room. Why is that even in here? How you feeling? Love? Dylan asks, pushing the hair out of my face to leave a kiss on my forehead. Fine. Just take it. I think I've been in this bed too long. Helping me sit up while I struggle to do it myself. I swing my legs over the bed, taking the leap off. I wobble a little, but Dylan is there to help me. Easy there, baby. There's no rush. I hold onto one of his arms for help. Walking slowly, I make it to the door, wobbling only a couple times. After walking the hallways and back to my room, my legs start to go out. Dylan carries me for the remainder of the way, setting me down in the bathroom where I'm supposed to change. I can do it myself. I say once I notice he isn't leaving. He gives me an amused look. He looks inside. MHMN. And risk you getting hurt. I think he'd rather stay for the show. I groan inwardly, knowing he is never going to leave. I turn around, at least shielding him from seeing me completely without clothes. It's not like I haven't seen it already. Lily A.I.N., he says casually, leaning up against the door and keeping his eyes on me. I roll my eyes, pull the strap, and release the gown. I can basically feel the air grow thicker, his intense gaze hitting my back. Dylan's hands touches mine, taking the bra from me and slipping it over my head. He turns me in his arms, so I face him. He runs his hand through my hair as he looks over me. He leans and catch my lips in a kiss. He grabs me below the butt and let my legs wrap around his waist. My back hits the wall as his lips attack my neck. I relax more into his touch. My head falls back, and I release a moan when he finds my sensitive spot where my neck meets my collarbones. A knock comes at the door, making us pull apart. The nurse announces that she has my release forms. Okay, I'll be out in a minute. I unwrap my legs and Dylan's body. Can't seem to be left alone. Dylan asks with a groan. I laugh and grab onto him for help as I put on a pair of his sweats. I pull the drawstrings, tightening them as he slips one of his shirts on me. Why am I wearing your clothes again? 'Cause you look good in them. He moves closer to my ear in a whisper. And I don't want to rip your clothes when we were alone. His words send a shiver down my spine. Walking out of the bathroom, I'm greeted by our families. They all smile at us, and Gavin handing me flowers. I didn't know what kind you like, so he says as he scratches the back of his neck. So you went with roses. I laugh and smell the roses. I love them. Gavin. Thank you. He gives me the Matthews family smile. Where's Ethan? H.E.S. taking a nap. He hadn't gotten a lot of sleep these last few days. He was knocked out after he left earlier. I nod, feeling guilty for worrying him. Dylan must have seen the frown on my face as he comes to comfort me. H.E.S. fine now. Lily, it's not your fault. I nod, but still looking down. He grabs my chin, making me look into his eyes. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeline Nilban, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Not your fault. Bringing my face to his. Our lips brush against each other. We hear a squeal, but I smile and lean in fully to the kiss. You guys are so cute. Leonard squeaks out, practically jumping in his shoes. I smile at him as I take a seat on my bed. They all send me smiles and just stares at me. It's a little creepy. Oh my God. Somebody breaks the silence. So when it's the ceremony, Elliot asks, jumping on the bed beside me. He lays a hand on my thigh and gets a growl from Dylan. I shake my head and ask about the ceremony. The lunar ceremony, since I'm guessing you're accepting the title now. I form my mouth in an O shape. Dylan's got to mark her first. So H.E.S. the hold up. I laugh as Dylan glares at his mum. Well, I would if everybody just wouldn't keep interrupting. Unless you want me to do it in front of you all. Everybody shouts no as Leonard shouts yes. We all turn to him, sending him weird look. What? You all know that would be good stuff. I bust out laughing as everybody groans. Why are you laughing? That's weird. Elliot exclaims. 'Cause only Leonard would say that. He winks at me, making me grin at him. Well, I for one, don't want to see that. My dad says, scrunching his face together. I would imagine Lily as a power bottom. Ahoo! Even a top. I sit there, wide-eyed, at my best friend. Definitely a power bottom. Dylan says. Everybody laughs as I gape up at him. Never know she could have changed. 6 years is a long time. Yes, a very long time. Dylan says, wiggling his eyebrows. I move away from him, scooting closer to Elliot. You guys are sick, Gavin says, shaking his head. We chat a little bit more before the doc says I can leave. I make my way out the hallway, with everybody walking silently behind me. When we make it to the pack house living room, I'm surprised to see all the pack members standing around with flowers and balloons. Welcome home, Luna, they all say in unison. Tears well in my eyes as I look over at all of them. I feel a pair of arms go around my waist and a deep voice in my ear. Welcome home, Lily A line. Dylan whispers in my ear. I turn around in his arms, looking up at him with tears-filled eyes. He smiles down at me and pecks my lips. I don't know what to say. Thank you. They all laugh at my obvious awkwardness. I go around thanking all of them and making small talk. It feels nice to talk to them. I feel welcomed into the pack after being gone for so long. My conversation with Achille and Donnie, who I learned is going to adopt her, comes to a halt when I hear a tiny squeal from the front of the room. All heads turn to see Ethan in his pajamas with a very excited expression on his face. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Noble, heartfelt thanks for your unfading patience, enthusiasm. Taking off in full force towards me, I catch him in my arms and holding him tightly. His little arms go around my neck as his legs go around my waist. I love you. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Noble, heartfelt thanks for your unfading patience, enthusiasm. I feel his tears hit my shirt, seeping through. I pull him back, wiping his tears away with my thumb. I love you too. So much. I kiss his head, lingering there for a little while. I pull away and gives him a smile. He returns it, and rests his head on my shoulder. I set Ethan down, letting him play with the other kids. Hi, a deep voice whispers in my ear. A chill runs down my spine as the person wraps his arms around me and places his face in my neck. I feel his breath hit my neck, causing goosebumps to erupt on my skin. I want you, Lily. Dylan drags his mouth up my neck and then to my ear. His teeth gently bite my earlobe. I close my eyes, focusing on not letting out a moan. Now he finishes, licking the sting out. Okay, is all I say, letting him take my hand in his, basically dragging me to the stairs. I let out a giggle as he jogs up the stairs, racing to get to his room. I flush bright red, hoping that Dylan's room is soundproof. That was amazing. I laugh, burying my face into his chest. We lay there, enjoying each other's company in complete silence. I feel something on my leg and look down to see a white substance running down my leg. Dylan, why is there cum running down my leg? Making him look down my leg in shock. We look at the used condom on the floor to see a hole at the tip of it. Oh and oh. Chapter 20 Lily. We stare at the condom, wide-eyed and shocked. How could it break? Well, Dylan says. I groan in frustration at my own stupidity. I should have known this was going to happen. It happened the last time. Why wouldn't it happen again? I sigh and fall back down on the bed, too tired to think of anything. I close my eyes when I feel Dylan pepper kisses on my face. Don't stress, baby. You may not even be pregnant. The doctor said chances are slim. What? An immediate headache comes on, causing me to grab my head. Dylan lays me back down slowly. I thought he told you. You have tearing down there, and the chance of you being able to have kids again is slim. Tears come to my eyes, burning them. I know I was just complaining over the fact that I might be pregnant, but that doesn't mean I never want another kid. I'm sorry. Lily, Dylan whispers in my ear, keeping his head tucked into my neck. After laying in bed for what seemed like hours, my legs start to cramp. Dylan, we should go take a shower. He nods and wipes away my dried up tears, kissing my forehead before getting off of me. I follow his leaden trail behind him into the bathroom. Dylan runs a bath as I clean myself off the dried cum. When Dylan walks over, I clean him off as well. My cheeks are burning red the whole time. We just had sex, and you still blush bright red. Pushing my hair that's matted down to my face behind my ear, Dylan steps in first to the large bathtub, and I follow. Once I'm fully embedded into the water, he pulls me. I lay my head back against his chest, letting him wash my front body. I flinch once his hand escapes downward, washing my lower region. MHMNN. Get used to it, baby. My hands will be down here a lot. I stay silent, not knowing how to respond to that. He finishes washing my body and moves onto my hair. A moan escapes my lips as he massages the shampoo into my hair. Baby girl, I don't think you can go another round. So don't be moaning if you don't want me to take you over this bathtub, Dylan says with all seriousness, his eyes already turning into a deeper color. I let him finish washing my hair in silence, only turning around to face him when he has finished. I run a hand along his lips and down his neck where I'll mark him. Mark me, Lily. His eyes show within them. I nod and move my body closer to his. Are you sure? Me and my wolf can wait. He grabs my face in his hand and kisses me deeply. Love. He pecks my lips once more and leans his head back. I start on his neck and kiss my way down. He groans when I find his sweet spot, so I linger there a little more than necessary. I get to where his neck meets his shoulder. Extending my canines, I sink them into his skin. I hear him hiss, but it quickly turns into a moan. I feel the mate boundary connect between us, our souls becoming one. Aurora howls in joy inside my head, jumping around in pure happiness. I let go, retract my canines, lick up the blood, and close the wound. I smile down at my work, tracing the letters a W on his skin. I love you, Lily A.I. Thompson. I love you too, Dylan Matthews. We finish washing up and get out of the bath. We dry off and get dressed. Dylan insists on me wearing one of his shirts even though I reek of his scent already. I know it so everybody can see his mark on me, but I don't say anything and slip on the oversized tee. Walking hand in hand, we make our way to the living room. The house is silent again, well, as quiet as a house with werewolves in it can be. As we walk by pack members, they congratulate us, the guys patting Dylan on the back. I did work too. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeline Nelban, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. I mean that crap was painful at first. Looking outside, I see Ethan playing with a killer and laughing carelessly. Dan GGG. You stink, Sith. Lucas says he walks inside the kitchen. I hit him on the arm, pushing Dylan back when he tries to hurt him. My baby had sex. I'm so proud of you, Lily. They're nerd chaps, coming over to pinch my cheeks. I swat his hands away as everybody laughs. Leonard, if you don't stop touching me, I'm going to hurt you, I warn as he tries to pull up my shirt. I'm just checking to make sure I don't have to hurt Dylan. Even though I would lose a duel, I still gotta check if he hurt you. I'm fine. Leonard, calm down. I chuckle as I go over to where Dylan is sitting. He pulls me into his lap, causing my shirt to slide down and showcase my mark. Your mark is so cute, Elliot testmate, Gabriella says, appearing out of nowhere. Thank you. I automatically touch my mark, sending sparks down my body when I touch it. Oh, yeah, they do that. The sparks. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeline Nelban, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. They last about a week or two. Yours will last longer though, since you're Una and have the mark of an alpha. A strong one at that. Dylan's mark. I nod, pulling up my shirt, only for it to be pulled back down by Dylan. Put it up again. And you won't be able to leave the bedroom for a month, he states sternly and continues to watch whatever shows on. Everybody watches closely as I grab the fabric. Liddy A. line. Don't try me. His eyes meet mine. I cheers to focus to notice me ease myself off of his lap. I pull the shirt all the way up and take off towards the backyard where training is happening. I hear a deep growl and stomping footsteps. The fighting stops as I step outside, running away from who I'm guessing is now Nikolai. The pack watches with amusement as I run and make sharp turns to throw off Nikolai. He snatches me around the waist and pulls me against his chest. I hear his heavy breathing as he moves his mouth closer to my ear. Oh, so you like messing with me, Lily A. line. Well, I am not as gentle as Dylan. My eyes go wide as I try to wiggle out of his grip. I can basically feel him smirk as his grip tightens as we walk towards the woods. Good luck, Elliot shouts. You're just gonna let him kidnap me. I shout back. glaring at everyone. She is a lot stronger than us, Leonard says, shrugging his shoulders. I flip all of them. We walk until we reach the waterfall Dylan showed me before. He sets me down. He has a mischievous glint in his eyes as he walks towards me. Moon goddess, help me. We walk, or should I say, limp back to the pack house. Curse Aurora and Nikolai for going at it like maniacs. Baby, you are right. I can carry you if you want. You've done enough. He chuckles and lifts a branch for me when I almost walk to it. I don't know what you're talking about. I just laugh, getting everybody's attention when we finally reach the pack house. I see my little boy run towards us. I move aside, letting Dylan catch him. I kiss the back of his head as we walk into the house. I ignore the looks I get when I walk by. Trust me, I know I smell of sex. Laying down in Dylan's bed, I take a deep breath and relax into the mattress. I close my eyes, my eyelids becoming heavy. I feel the bed dip, and I open my eyes to see Dylan and Ethan crawl into bed with me. I wrap my arms around Ethan as Dylan's large arm wraps around both of us. I giggle softly. This position is a little too familiar. I guess it's just déjà vu. Chapter 21 Lily. For weeks later, waking up to a sick feeling, I squirm my way out of Dylan's grip and make my way to the bathroom. As soon as my feet hit the cold tile, the bile stuck in my throat makes its appearance. I flush the toilet guy heaving in it. Without even looking, I feel Dylan's presence in the bathroom. I'm fine. You can go back to bed. I grab a new toothbrush and brush my teeth. You're not fine if you're throwing up. Love, maybe I should call the doctor. I shrug my shoulders, spitting the toothpaste out of my mouth. Dylan walks me back to the bed, gently laying me down. He leaves a kiss on my forehead and leaves the room. I close my eyes and drift back to sleep. I hear chatter in the room. How long ago has it been since you guys mated? I recognize the doctor's voice. A month. Maybe. Dylan answers. I can feel his anxiousness through our mate bond. I know what HE's thinking, but HE's wrong. Well, if she allows it, I can perform an ultrasound. No, I whisper. I open my eyes and sit up. I don't want one. Baby, you could be pregnant, Dylan says excitedly. He sits with me, but I scoot away from him. Luna, it will just be a quick. I said I don't want one. Please leave. Doctor. He bows his head and leaves the room, shutting the door behind him. Why not? Lily, you could be pregnant with my pups. I can feel the sadness rake through our bond. The tears surface around my eyes. I took a pregnancy test 2 days ago. Dylan, it was negative. That's just one. Baby, it could be wrong. I shake my head and wipe the tears that fell from my eyes. I took 8. Dylan, they were all negative. Oh, he says in a whisper. I don't hold the tears back. I let them fall. I feel Dylan's arms wrap around me, whispering soothing words to me. Baby, we can always keep trying. But I still feel the disappointment in his voice. I stick my face into his neck, wrapping my arms around his neck and my legs around his waist, clinging to him. I'm sorry. Dylan. I can't give you any more kids. It's all my fault. Feeling so disgusted with myself. Hey, it's not your fault. Baby, calm down. I already have the best kid in the world. You have nothing to be sorry for. Lily A. Line. I love you. I love you too. I continue to hold on to him, seeking his comfort. He lays us down again and covers us up. Our heart beats, and my pathetic sniffles are the only thing that can be heard in the room. We lay there for a while until I hear noises coming from downstairs. I don't pay it much attention until the shouting starts. I look at Dylan to see him roll his eyes. I smile and climb off of him. He grabs my hand in his and drags me downstairs. When we make it downstairs, the living room is a mess. Couches are turned over. The TV has been cracked, and the beautiful art that covered the walls is trashed. And standing in the middle of all this chaos a very pissed off Leonard and a sick-looking Lucas. What is going on in here? Dylan says, his alpha tone bouncing off the walls. Dylan's mum takes all the kids away as the adults stand with their heads bowed. I can explain. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeline Nilban. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Lucas starts, but Leonard cuts him off. Oh, shut up already. You lying. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeline Nilban. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Piece of crap. The room falls silent as the two mates glare at each other. Lucas closes his eyes, taking a deep breath before talking again. Leonard, I didn't cheat on. A vase is thrown at his head. He dodges it, but Leonard throws something else at him. I step in front of Leonard, taking the remote out of his hand. Leonard, calm down. I whisper to him and pin his hands to his side. He complies, the tears HES holding back finally falling. Lucas whimpers, but I pull Leonard away, knowing Lucas's touch will only make it worse. I take him into the guest room, set him on the bed, and wrap my arms around him. How is he? Dylan asks through our link. I don't know. Don't let Lucas in here though. I cut off the link and focus on my best friend. What happened? Leonard. He pulls back from my shoulder and wipes away his tears. I saw him with Aiden. They were touching each other. Then Aiden leaned up and kissed him. He cheated. Lily. He breaks into sobs again. I hold him in my arms until he cries himself to sleep. I lay him down and place a kiss on his forehead. Now to deal with my brother. As I walk into the living room, everybody is sitting down, and the mess is already gone. Everybody watches as I grab Lucas by his ear and drag him outside. The pack members try to hold in their laughter as we pass by them. I throw him on the ground once we reach outside. What the heck? Lucas, how could you do that, Tomarcus? I scream at him, getting a headache from doing so. My screaming is attracting everybody. Lucas tries to stand up, but I push him down again. He growls at me, but I just keep pushing him down. Lily, let me up. Not until you tell me why you cheated on my best friend so I can beat you up. He rolls his eyes, his head down on the grass. Everybody, go back inside. I order through the pack mind link. They all disappear back into the house, leaving me and my brother alone. I help him up to one of the benches in the backyard. Why? Now noticing the tears falling from his eyes. It's new to me, seeing my brother cry. When we were kids, Lucas never cried. He was always the overprotective brother. He never showed his tears, but would comfort me when I showed mine. Seeing him cry over his mate brings back a lot of memories. I never once went to him to cry about Dylan, but here we are. HES crying to me about Leonard. So much has changed. I didn't cheat on him. Lily. It's all just a misunderstanding. He buries his face in his hands. I see Leonard watch us from the doorway, but I don't tell Lucas, wanting Leonard to hear what he has to say. What happened? Lucas, I ask softly, rubbing his back for comfort. Aiden, one of the Omgazer, said he needed to talk to me. I couldn't say no. The beta. So, he pulled me aside and started talking. None of it was important, but when I said that I needed to go, he started touching me. I didn't want to be rude, so I grabbed his hands and took them off of me. I turned to leave when he grabs my shirt and kisses me. That's when I heard Leonard gasp. I immediately pushed him away from me. I felt so disgusted. Lily, I felt like crap, and I didn't do anything. I can't lose him. Lily A-line. HES my everything. I won't know what to do with myself if he doesn't believe me. I look over to Leonard to see him in tears. I motion for him to come over. I cut Lucas's shoulder as I let Leonard take my seat. I shut the back door, leaving them alone. I watch from the back window as Leonard throws himself at Lucas, connecting their lips again. A smile plays on my lips as I watch the two. Someone clears his throat, making a scream erupt from my throat. I turn around to see Dylan standing there with a smirk on his lips. I flip him off. You know, Eavesdropping isn't right. He sits down in one of the bar stools. I wasn't eavesdropping. I was just shut up. I say, trying to find the right words as I glare at him. He chuckles and pulls me into his chest. He peppers kisses all over my face, making me erupt into a fit of giggles. EWWW, Mommy and Daddy, Ethan says as he walks into the kitchen. I laugh and push away Dylan's face. Did you eat breakfast? He shakes his head no as reaches up to get the cereal box. A loud noise causes the cereal to fall on the ground. Our eyes snap to backyard, seeing the dead man himself standing there. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilban, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Dylan is up in seconds and outside, along with most of the men in the pack. I give Ethan to my mom, telling them to go with the other wives and kids. I see that Jason isn't by himself now. Standing next to him is Amber and about 20 other wolves behind them. All of their eyes are red, confirming that they are rogues. How dare you step into my land? Dylan denies, disgust and anger clear in his voice. Jason smirks, but the smell of fear on him and his pack fouls the air. Dylan's hand curling a fist, and the anger radiating off of him makes everybody take a few steps back. I cautiously approach him, my touch physically relaxing him. Go back inside, Lily. Even though my wolf wants to follow her mate and alpha sorter, I remain where I am. This is my fight too. Dylan, let me stay please. He stays quiet as he keeps his eyes on a dirty looking Jason. I suggest you leave now. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilban, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Because that's the only way you will leave alive. I can't do that, Dylan. I came here for one thing, and that's to hurt you. Now you could hand me Lily or I could take her away from you. Silas did say she always felt nice. Dylan's eyes turn pitch black as a ferocious growl leaves his mouth. He wastes no time and charges at Jason. The other wolves follow their alpha sled and charge at the rogues. I see Amber run towards me, already in her wolf form. I don't have time to shift as she tackles me to the ground. I try my best to block her mouth from reaching my face, unable to push her off of me, but it doesn't last long. She charges me again, but is stopped when we hear Jason cry out. All heads snap to see his body fall to the ground, life leaving his eyes. Me and Dylan make eye contact, and I feel relief fill my body. I don't get to enjoy the moment as Amber growls at me, attacking me to the ground. Her teeth clamp down on my shoulder, and a whimper leaving my mouth. Growing tired of the situation, I dodge her mouth, then grab her neck. I can only feel hate as I look at her. I twist her neck until I hear a pop. Her body goes heavy and falls on top of mine. I lay my head down, the pain in my shoulder growing. Amber's weight is lifted off of me. Dylan is staring down at me. Baby, are you okay? He asks frantically. I nod, not even trying to talk. Dylan picks me up in his arms, bridal style. I snuggle into his arms, rubbing my dirt-covered face on his bare chest. Are you without clothes? Giggling, he stares down at me worriedly, giving me a weird look. Doc, she was bit in the shoulder, Dylan says, ignoring my question. What happened? My dad asks, coming into the room with everybody else. I swear they travel in groups. Are you guys a cult? Like a werewolf cult? That would be so cool. Laughing at the thought. Dylan, what happened out there? And why is she eating her hair? I stop chewing on my hair once I notice what I'm doing. It tastes good though. Kind of like a cookie dough. Amber bit her. I don't know why she's acting weird though. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilban, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. We have to put her out to repair the bite. My eyes go wide, but as I try to sit up, I see Dylan nod. Moments later, all I see is darkness. 2 hours later, I wake up with a massive headache. I groan as I feel a slight pain in my shoulder. Baby, I look over to see Dylan staring at me. Our hands intertwined together. I lay my head back down, trying to control this headache. A couple of minutes passed, along with the headache. What happened? I asked, looking into his beautiful green eyes. You were bit, my love. You don't remember? I shake my head, honestly confused as to what HE is talking about. It's not important anyways. I'm just glad you're okay. I nod, feeding his warm lips on my forehead. Are you hungry? Thirsty? Dylan asks and stands up, ready to get me anything. I ask for water and wait patiently as he gets back. I swear, Lily, if I have to come visit you in this room one more time. Leonard scolds as he comes into the room with Lucas right behind him. Trust me, I know. I'm starting to get sick of the color white. His face cracks into a grin. I smile as he makes himself comfortable on Lucas's lap. So everything is okay between you two? Leonard shyly nods, snuggling his face into his mate's neck as Lucas grins widely. Good. 'Cause I need nieces and nephews soon. We didn't have ice, but I stuck it into the freezer for a minute. Hey, Leonard. Lucas. I thank Dylan and take the glass away from him. The liquid travels down my throat, soothing the burning dryness. Dylan catches me up on what happened and shocking me. I can't believe I killed Amber. I mean, I never liked her, but I shouldn't have done that to her. What about her mate? I talked to him. He said HE it's okay. It hurts him a little, but HE is okay. He wanted me to tell you not to be sorry. She hurt you, and ours is Luna. He shouldn't have done that. I think when Amber left the pack, he thought she was dead, so the only difference now is the physical pain. Dylan explains to me. A knock on the door catches our attention, and the doctor walks in. He smiles warmly at me, greeting me and everybody else in the room. He grabs my chart and looks through it. If you weren't mated to Alpha Dylan, I would think you had a crush on me since you've come to see me so many times already. I smile at the same humor Dr. Berry have used since I was little. I don't know, Doc. I was just starting to find these beds cozy. Please don't do that to me. Lily A. Line. Dealing with the pressure to save you is enough to kill me. I don't like to deal with a worried alpha. He laughs, winking at me as he grabs one of those mouth compressor things. After finishing his checkup, he takes a blood sample from me, saying he'll be back when the results are available. Lily, you should have heard yourself when Dylan brought you in here. I give Lucas a weird look, not knowing what HE is talking about. Oh yeah, you thought you and Dylan's family were in a werewolf cult, Leonard says, making all of them bust out laughing. I groan and place my head in my hands. Why do I have to blabber when I get tired? You also thought I was without clothes the whole time and that your hair tasted good, Dylan adds, smirking at me. I was eating my hair. I slapped my forehead, my cheeks becoming flustered. Baby, it was cute seeing you all hysterical, wrapping me in his arms. The next hour goes by fast as we all just sit down and chat. I miss this laughing, smiling, bonding with my mate, best friend, and brother. Life's good. I'm at peace with everything. Barry comes back, a wide grin on his face. Beta Lucas. Leonard, do you guys mind leaving for just a minute? They both nod and tell us goodbye. Lucas picks up a squealing Leonard, knowing what they're going to go do. Did the results come back? He nods, but stays silent, sending us an almost creepy smile. Dylan asks, motioning for him to continue. Congratulations, Alpha and Luna. You'll be expecting child number 2 in 3 months. Wait, what? Chapter 20 to Lily. B, but I thought the shot becomes too much. I don't get to finish my sentence. A word jumps around in my head. Howling in joy. I'll leave you two alone. Congrats, Barry says. He smiles as he leaves the room. Baby Dylan starts, but I cut him off, kissing him. I wrap my arms around his neck as he pulls my body close. I feel my tears roll down my face, tasting the saltiness in my mouth. Impregnant, I whisper against his lips. He smiles against my lips, pecking them multiple times. When should we tell everybody? I asked, feeling the excitement running through my body. Whenever you want, baby. Let's tell them today. He nods and kisses my temple. Maybe you should change out of your bloody clothes first. Later that night. How's your shoulder? To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilben. Heartfelt thanks for your unfading patience, enthusiasm. Ethan asks as he sits by me at the dinner table. It's been about 9 hours since the accident happened. The pain is almost all gone. Baby, thanks for asking. He nods and kisses my cheek. Dylan called a packed dinner tonight to let them all know of my pregnancy. We had to make sure Dr. Barry didn't say anything before then. I sit patiently, the nerves running through my body. We're planning on telling our families before the dinner starts in 30 minutes. My hands are shaking, and the nerves in my body make me want to throw up. Sensing my stress, Dylan comes in the room and takes my hands in his much larger ones. Lily, you're going to be okay. Calm down. I nod, closing my eyes as I take a deep breath. As if aren't you? Our families walk in. They all sit down, looking around for everybody else since we told them a different time than the rest of the pack members. I thought you said to be here at 7. Gavin asks. We did. We just told everybody else a different time. They nod slowly, still confused. I let out a soft laugh, finding it amusing seeing them all confused. Well, we wanted to tell you all before the pack. Tell us what? Impregnant, I say quietly. The room falls silent, their faces all in shock. No way, Leonard screeches, making us all cover our ears. Everybody else follows, coming out of their state of shock and congratulating us. I'm going to have a brother or a sister, Ethan says, jumping up and down. When do you find out the gender? Elliot asks as he takes a sip of his drink. I'm not sure. I found out what Ethan was at 1 month. So hopefully, soon, we continue talking about the upcoming baby until 7:30 comes around. The nerves come back, but I'm thankful as everybody silently calms me down. Hey Ethan, how about you tell the pack about the baby? I whisper into his ear. He nods his little head up and down fast, pushing his brown locks out of his eyes. Okay, I'll tell you when. Everybody sits down and quiets once Dylan clears his throat. Thank you all for coming. I called for this supper to share some exciting news with you all. I nudge Ethan, nodding at him to do his thing. He interrupts Dylan as he stands on the table, careful not to knock over anything. He clears his throat and takes a deep breath before shouting, Mommy's pregnant. I stare at him, wide-eyed. I was not expecting that. I can't help laughing, along with Dylan and a family. The pack stares at us wide-eyed, their mouths hung open. Thank you. I'm sure the whole country knows now. Dylan sends a wink to Ethan and help him off the table. Barry is the first to speak up, congratulating us once again. Pack members, one by one, congratulate us, telling us how happy they are for us. I feel a fuzzy feeling in my stomach. All the love I'm receiving is a lot to handle. Maybe it's the pregnancy hormones. Maybe not. Whatever it is, I'm grateful. In talking to Sherry, one of the pregnant moms in the pack, when Dylan stands up and gains everybody's attention, I want to make a toast to my lovely mate. I could sit up here and tell you how much I'm in love with you, but we'd be up here for days. Words can't describe how incredibly happy you make me. I know I've made dumb mistakes, but you forgave me. Just that means everything to me. You gave me the world's best kid, and you're about to give me another one. If it's possible, I think I fell harder for you. I don't want to ever live without you. Lily A. Line Thompson, you're my mate, my love, my world, and I want to make you my wife. Ethan, you marry me. He gets on one knee and pulls out a ring yes. I whisper, wiping the tears that are falling from my eyes, pulls me from my seat, and kicks me up into his arms. The pack erupts into cheers as I wrap my legs around Dylan's waist and my arms around his neck. I love you, Dylan says into my ear, putting me back onto the ground. As he slips the ring on my finger, I say the words back to him. I love you too. I stand on my tippy toes, bringing his face to mine. Our lips connect, the familiar sparks going off between us. Whistles and snickers are heard in the room. I pull back, smiling at my fiancé. It has a nice ring to it. That night, we spend our time in each other's arms, a calm feeling in the air. All our worries are gone. Everything's perfect. 3 months later this sucks. I groan, as another sharp pain hits my stomach. Lily, Dylan will be here soon, Leonard says, rubbing a wet washcloth on my forehead. I'm currently minutes away from delivering. And where's Dylan? Stuck in traffic. Archie has been gone, along with Lucas and Donnie, the new third in command. For 3 days. A baby was born 2 weeks ago to Alpha Max. And as friends, he went to visit. I wanted to go. But of course, I had to stay here since I'm already huge. Why am I so huge? Well, let me tell you. We found out 2 months ago we are having twins. Twins. I swear, I wanted to kill Dylan right then and there. How could he do that to me? My small fragile body is carrying twins. We decide to keep the genders a secret. To be surprised when the time comes. Which is now. I scream as the sharpest pain hits me. Luna, we have to deliver them now. Barry says, coming into the room with a bunch of nurses. But HES not all. Goddess? To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Noble. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. I lay my head down and take deep breaths as they prepare to deliver my babies. Where are you? Dylan. Dylan Donnie. Come on. I know you can drive faster than that. I can't believe I'm about to miss my Winsbeth. Screw you traffic. I'm going as fast I can. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Noble. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. If we get pulled over, it would just take us longer. I nod. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Noble. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. But I know HES right. I get a text from Leonard saying that they have to deliver them now. I groan, knowing what I have to do. We're parked in traffic for at least another 10 minutes. Looking out the window, I see the woods a short distance away from us. I got to shift, not waiting for them to respond. I jump out of the cart and run towards the woods. Once I'm in the safety of the trees, I strip from my clothes. I see Lucas run up to me, doing the same. What are you doing? I'm not missing another one of my nieces or nephew's births. Now, come on. We shift and run towards the pack house. We cross the border, bypassing the pack warriors, and push our legs faster. Once we get to the backyard, Leonard is outside, waiting for us with clothes. I guess Lucas mind linked him. I quickly shift back, tugging the clothes on, and take off towards the infirmary. The pack parts for me as I run through, knowing if they didn't, I would end up hitting them. I finally make it, busting open the door to the waiting room. Our families are sitting there, waiting patiently. She's in room 5. Hey up, Dylan, my mom direct. I don't have to be told twice as I sprint towards room 5. Opening the door, I see my baby laying there, a look of pain on her face. I rush to her side and take her hand in mine. Dylan, I'm here. Baby, just breathe. I instruct and kiss her lips. I see ahead. Keep pushing. Luna. She grips my hand tighter, caning it, but I hide the whimper that wants to leave my mouth. Barry says as my starts to cry. He hands me the scissors, asking if I want to cut the umbilical cord. I nod, wiping my tears and cutting it. He gets handed off to the nurses as Barry works on getting baby number 2 out. One more push. Luna, Barry encourages. With one more push, my baby girl is born. I cut her umbilical cord and then she is handed off to the doctors. Are they okay? Lily asks, her voice hoarse. I nod, wiping away both of our tears. I kiss her lips as she smiles. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Noble. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Luna, would you like to meet your son and daughter? Gabriella asks us and sets the twins in Lily's arm. Our son has Lily's eyes and our daughter has mine. Do you guys have names? Barry asks, making me look down at Lily. We already talked about names a month ago. Our girl is Carlson, and our son is Carter. I smile as I look down at the two beautiful babies, happily asleep in their mother's arms. They're beautiful names. I'll let the family in now, if it's okay. I nod, not taking my eyes off my kids. I see Lily's eyes slowly close. She'll be tired for a while. You'll want to hold them till they get hugged away. I laugh, nodding, gently grabbing Carson in my hands and sits beside Lily. Barry brings Carter over and sets him in my arms. They wrap their little fingers around my big one. Carter's eyes flutter open, his big blue eyes staring up at me. I kiss his forehead, making his eyes shut close again. The door opens, and everybody stares and all at the angels in my arms. Ethan hops over, staring with wide eyes. They're so tiny. Daddy. I smile and nod. Everybody cooes at them, leaving kisses all over them. What names did you guys decide? My dad asks, taking Carson from me. Carson and Carter. How did my baby do? Rick asks, sitting on the edge of the bed, brushing Lily's hair out of her face. Good. Just tired. That's all. I give Carter to Ethan, who is patiently sitting in the chair, waiting. Be careful. You don't want to hurt him. I tell him seriously, helping him position him properly in his arms. Daddy, can I give him a kiss? Looking up at me hopefully, I smile and nod my head. He slowly leans down, placing a kiss on his brother's forehead. After being passed around to everybody, the babies start to cry. Lily wakes up and rubs her eyes. I'll feed them, she says, sleep still in her voice. I nod and take both babies to her. Everybody leaves the room, leaving her to breastfeed in private. They're beautiful. Baby, I say as I sit beside her, helping her keep Carson upright. They always seem to look just like you. Kissing her pouty lips. Maybe the next ones will look like you. Knowing she doesn't want any more. Yet no. I chuckle as I take Carson once chest on to burp her. We got the babies in their beds and let them sleep. I lay down next to Lily and bring her close to me. She lays her head on my shoulder and closes her eyes. I love you, Dylan. Matthews. I love you too. Lily Ian Thompson. With that, we drift off to sleep. Our past forgotten, and the future with our new family ahead of us. Epilogue. Lily 10 years later, Mum. Tell Carson to leave me alone. Carter shouts from down the hallway. I roll my eyes, already having this argument at this time of the day. Carter, be nice to your sister. And Carson, leave your brother alone. I yell back as I rest my head on the counter. Those two give me headaches every hour of the day. Hey, Mum. Ethan comes into the kitchen, carrying his school books. Hey, B. How was school? It was good. I got an art my test I was studying for. But Ms. Apple is leaving. That sucks. She's about to pot though. I say as I get up to wash the dishes. He nods and opens up his textbook to study. I smile over at him. My little monster. H.E.S. grown up so much. H.E.S. not my little baby boy anymore. Where's a killer? I thought you were giving her a ride home. Finding it unusual that the two aren't side by side. Since the day Kiki got here, they've been inseparable. I was supposed to, but she was a little distracted, he says with a smirk. I give him a confused look, but he stays quiet. Oh my God. Just tell me already. I groan, getting annoyed. He laughs, showing of his dimples he inherited from his father. Speak of the devil. Dylan walks in, wraps his arms around my waist, and plants a kiss on my neck. I let out a sigh, still feeling that hazy feeling every time we touch. Hey, love. I almost let out a moan at his deep husky voice in my ear. EWWW. Get a room, you horny freaks. My innocent eyes don't need to see that. I roll my eyes at him. Oh, whatever. Your eyes aren't innocent. Akira says as she walks into the room with the boy about her and Ethan's age. They are holding hands. Who's this? Dylan asks, pushing me behind him, shielding me from seeing more of the boy. All three bow their heads at Dylan, his alpha tone coming out a little. Archie's still very protective of me ever since the whole Silas incident. I always tell him I'm fine, and I really am. But Archie's an alpha, and they never listen. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nobel, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Luna, this is my mate. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nobel, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. We found out today. I came to introduce him to you guys. I'm sorry for not giving you a heads up. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nobel, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. She keeps her eyes trained to the ground. I shake my head and push Dylan out of my way. You don't have to apologize. Honey, please. Introduce us. She cracks a smile and pulls her mate a little closer to her. Well, this is Kyle. Archie's part at Alpha Thomas Pack. He was coming back from visiting his grandparents when he came through our pack. We met at the school, and then we, came here. Kyle nuzzles his face in her neck, something all wolves do when they first find their mates. It's to memorize their scent. It's nice to meet you. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nobel, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Be good to a killer. Her best friend is an alpha, and her dad is a pack warrior. The best at that, just in case you have any funny ideas. Dylan says, shaking the kid's hand. Kyle's face pales, and he nods his head fast. How old are you? You have to be 18. Ethan asks, not taking his eyes off of his paper. He might be an alpha, a little bit of a player at that, but his studies have always come first. Yeah. I'm 19, actually. Have you told your dad yet? Sitting down on Dylan's lap as he strokes my hair. Not yet. We're going there now. Thought he should deal with the easier family members first. We all chuckle, knowing how protective Don is of his daughter. Your dad's that bad? Kyle asks, looking slightly terrified. Yes, we all say in unison. Akila laughs and pulls Kyle out of the room. Ethan excuses himself and goes to his room. Dylan's hands start to move up and down my body as he keeps his mouth attached to my neck. I let out a long-needed moan, leaning back into him, just as his hands start to travel down. The little devil's walking. Kay, Carter and Carson. Mommy, Carter threw one of my books on the floor. He called reading stupid. Carson cries, coming into the room with Carter trailing behind her. She's lying. I only threw her book cause she was making me mad and she was listening to me. It's her fault, not mine. He stomps his feet on the ground. I got this one. Go lay down. Dylan lifts me off his lap. I nod and pass the twins who are currently giving their dad their best puppy dog looks. I stop in Ethan's room to check on him. He smiles and tells me H is good, so I proceed to my room. Plopping down on the bed, I close my eyes, letting them shut. Just as I'm about to drift off to sleep, I feel little hands poke at my face. I open my eyes to see Winston. Winston is our little surprise baby. About 2 years ago, I found out I was pregnant with him. It came as a shock to everybody, but we were happy nonetheless. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nobel, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. I didn't like the security that had to follow me, but when my little grey-eyed beauty came out, I couldn't help but be filled with happiness. How he got grey eyes? No clue. Hi, baby. What are you doing in Mommy and Daddy's room? He laughs, ignoring my question. He grabs onto my shirt. pulling himself onto my back. He lays down and puts his head on the back of mine. I feel his breathing even out a few minutes later, and I know H.S. asleep. I gently roll over, making his little body flop onto the bed. I bring him to my chest and rock him back and forth when his eyes start to flutter open. Hey babe, Winston is laying down with me, so be quiet when you come in here. I mind linked in. I grab the remote, turning the TV to Disney Junior. I close my eyes to take an hour nap, only waking up when I hear the door open. Dylan comes in covered in paint. What happened to you? I whisper yell, carefully getting out of the bed. Your kids did this. After I made them make up, they thought it would be funny to soak me in paint. I roll my eyes and grab his hand in mine, dragging him to the bathroom. I quietly close the door and push Dylan towards the counter. I grab a cloth, drench it, and wipe off the paint. Those kids are a mess, I say as I shake my head. I slip off Dylan's shirt, exposing his chiseled chest. They are, but we love them. I smile as I get the last piece of dried paint off. How did we get here? Dylan asks, pushing a piece of hair behind my ear. What do you mean? How did we get where we are now? Married, for amazing kids, and just happy. Sometimes, it takes a rough patch and few bad memories to form for the best ones to come. You're amazing. You know that. Oh, I know. Smirking, as I lean down to connect our lips. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeline Milburn, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Mommy, to my agent extraordinaire, Madeline Milburn, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Winston says from the door, removing our lids from each other. We see all of our babies standing there, Ethan with a smirk on his face and the twins with a look of disgust. And, of course, Winston has no clue what's going on. I open my arms, letting all of them into a giant hug. Dylan's arms wrap around us, squeezing us together. I kiss each of their heads, having to lean up to kiss Ethan since HES so tall already. I love you, my little Alphys and Luna. Oh, Carter, that was my toe. Carson screeches, the two starting a screaming match once again. Moon Goddess, help me. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode of the story, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to get notifications for updates.